Words, they're very dangerous things. And when those words are coming from a very pregnant woman who is still out there working, doing her comedy tour, then you must definitely spray them with pepper spray if you're offended by their words. That is the leftist logic that led to a female comedian whose act is, I would say, like, I won't say it's like anti-woke. It's just like, it can be offensive. It could be like, she has a propensity to kind of make fun of leftists and things of that nature. So somebody reacted, somebody who is very pregnant decided that they had to pepper spray her. Just the compassionate left at it once again. You see this article, pregnant comedian attacked after comedy show. Unfortunately, the practice of going after comedians and their jokes seems to be gaining traction. On February 24th, 2024, Chrissy Mayer, who is known for her edgy brand of comedy, finished a performance at the Dojo of Comedy in Morris Plains, New Jersey. When she was attending a meet and greet, someone went after her and some of the attendees with pepper spray and ran away like a true hero would. A true hero would pepper spray a woman who is extremely pregnant and then run away. In an X post, which you can read below, if you're unfamiliar with Chrissy Mayer's humor, she uses some words that may offend you, so read with caution. She says that everyone appears to be okay, thankfully. Also, aside from being a horrible thing to do to anyone, bear in mind that Chrissy Mayer is pregnant. So she tweeted, after my comedy show, during tonight's meet and greet, some cowardly bundle of sticks, I'm assuming, pepper sprayed me and the area, sending many of us into coughing fits, teary eyes, and running for the doors for fresh air. It seems everyone's okay. We're still trying to figure out who did it and why. It's just really effed up thing to do in a crowd which happens to include a very pregnant woman. The worst part about being pepper sprayed after my show is that they waited like an absolute puss bag and pepper sprayed me after the show. I mean, I don't even understand, like, how somebody, like, thinks this is a good thing. Like, how somebody thinks that this is a stunning and brave thing to do. It is extremely wild. I don't know if they're ever going to find this person. Usually the police don't seem to care about this kind of thing. You can see this sort of thing that Jake, who says he's going to our tour soon, finds very funny. You can see the craft, this person laughing about it. There's literally no thing that is off limit when you're a leftoid ideologue. I mean, look at what's happened to comedy, essentially. If we go even to Sam Tripoli posted this. Holy crap, this club just canceled all my favorite comics because they consulted with local comedians, decided that it was not a good idea to host shows. Kurt Metzger writing, I'm sorry, but this is too funny not to immediately put on blast. Also, am I mistaken that the club is in Seattle's historic Chaz district? Kurt looks up towards heaven. Thank you, George Floyd, for the fun I'm about to have with this on Twitter after I take a quick dump BRB. So they put this out. This is a comedy club. After careful considerations and discussions with our team, investors, local comedians, and neighborhood advocacy groups, we have encountered a challenging situation that requires us to revisit the planned shows. Capitol Hill is known for its progressive values, and we've received significant feedback expressing concerns about the alignment of these upcoming shows with the neighborhood's ethos. This feedback includes concerns from our local advocacy groups that are deeply embedded in our community and will work towards upholding its values. By the way, when this place goes out of business in 2 years, I will shed no tears. Because that's essentially what's going to happen. Given the feedback and to avoid any potential negative impact on both our club and the artists involved, as well as to maintain the harmony within our community, we believe the most responsible course of action is to move forward, not to move forward, with shows for Dave Smith on April 11th, Luis J. Gomez May 31st through June 1st, Jim Florentine, and sadly, Kurt Metzger on October 11th and 12th as well. This decision was not made lightly, and we want to ensure that it does not reflect on your talent and the quality of your work, but instead on a reflection on our commitment to our community's values. Seattle Comedy Club cancels 4 unwoke comments. This is from Friday. I guess, Seattle Comedy Club just canceled 4 comedians from its winter and spring schedule after careful consideration. Metzger, the co-host of the Jimmy Dore Show, shared an update on his Seattle appearance on his X account, warning adult language. The note from Jess Anderson, the club's owner and booker, doesn't directly explain why any of the 4 comedians are not suitable to be heard in the club. It's not a matter of poor ticket sales either, as some of the shows were still several weeks away and in theory could sell out between now and then. These comedians tell the wrong jokes. There's no other explanation. This is via Hollywood and Christian Toto over on Hollywood and Toto. Metzger is a show business veteran, an Emmy-winning writer, with credits including Inside Amy Schumer, gross, and Chappelle Show. He also works alongside Dore, routinely deconstructs media narratives of the left, right, and center. Florentine has decades in stand-up comedy and provided voices for Comedy Central's Crank Yankers program. The gig included voicing Special Ed, a mentally challenged puppet who was memory holed by Comedy Central's YouTube channel. I remember that. Dave Smith, the libertarian comedian and podcast host of the Part of the Problem podcast, he's graced such problematic podcasts such as the Joe Rogan Experience and Tim Pool IRL. Gomez, part of the Legion of Skanks podcast, is the founder of Gas Digital Podcast Network and is arguably the most irreverent of the quartet. Gomez took the cancellation stride, noting it's hardly the only comedy club that refuses to book him. Yes, on today's Real podcast, but to be fair, it's their right to book whoever they want. They weren't particularly bad about it. I'll find another venue. I would not have chosen to make a stink about this. There are plenty of venues that will not book us. I'm not as familiar with a lot of these people, Anderson offered a laughable defense of the art form in her note, quote, "We truly value the art of comedy and the diverse perspectives it brings our lives." Her club regularly features open mic comedians who knows what they might say given on any given night. Capitol Hill also shares a regular showcase dubbed Queers to the Front. Celebrate a vibrant voice of the queer community with a specially curated open mic night at Queers to the Front. We amplify stories, jokes, and narratives of marginalized voices. I mean, this is just bad business, in general. I don't know why any of these people would want to go to Seattle in the first place. Honestly, if I had to choose between going downtown Seattle, Portland, or New York, that's like Sophie's Choice level of difficult decisions. Any one of them, there's a high percentage chance that I won't come back alive. It is wild. When you're Kurt Metzger, he's somebody that kind of makes fun of everybody. But when you live in these weirdo bubbles, with a lot of these, when you live your life with these leftist ideologies, even if somebody is, fair, so to speak, somebody who makes fun of all sides, you can't take it. You can't take somebody who makes fun of both sides. It has to be exclusively the right or not at all. And ultimately the short path, the political humor, this, that, and the other thing, it kind of was a shortcut for a lot of hacky comedians to get in front of a mic. And now I fear that, with Trump in the presidential race again, we may see another rise of these lame Trump jokes over and over and over again. But, certainly these clubs, it's their choice not to have these people. That's fine. The state of comedy has basically never been worse, but there are outliers out there who are doing a good job. I'm glad that comedian Chrissy Mayer was unharmed by this lunatic, and I'm sure these other individuals will all be able to find, suitable alternatives almost certainly.